All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Money Matters. My name is Madhura. Hope you guys are feeling good. If you're watching, do drop a hello in the comments. Hi, Ashika. I see you already watching. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. Do drop a hello in the comments if you're watching. Today's going to be a fun episode. I just thought I'll do a very casual one today. We do not have a guest speaker today. It's just going to be me having a chat with all of you. So feel free to share your experiences, share the funny stories that has happened. Because if you did not realize, today's topic is "Oh My Money," festive season, festive edition, right? Because a lot of us, including me, we celebrated Deepavali. It's something we have gone through over the past, I think, past 1 week or 2 weeks, and festivals are always something that amuses me. It's a very very interesting time period. It's not reserved for one group of people. Everyone has a certain kind of thing that they celebrate. There are some of us who celebrate like this kind of holidays, Deepavali. We celebrate Hari Raya. Some of us celebrate Chinese New Year. Some of us celebrate Christmas, New Year, and there are also a group of people who love to celebrate their birthdays, or like any other public holidays that you may have, or just a special day that you take seriously and you like to celebrate once a year. So all of us have this. So that is what we are going to be talking about, because the trend that I've noticed is many of us fail with regards to our finances. So make mistakes in our finances when these seasons come up. So like when Diwali comes, suddenly the spending increases and a lot of people go over budget. This is actually proven by research by a lot of people. Like all you have to do is like Google how do people spend during their festivals and do they go over budget? Yes, many of them do go over budget. Some of them do not even have a budget, so they do not realize the impact that it has had on their finances. And it's a very, very interesting period of time to watch how we behave in terms of finances. So if you're watching, let me know like how do you behave in terms of finances? Are you the kind of person who will spend a lot? What kind of festivals do you celebrate, and when does this happen? So, like for me, while you guys share, I'm just gonna go ahead and share my experiences. One of the things that I have noticed for myself is this, right? I love celebrating Christmas. My family and I exchange gifts and all of that, and it has become something we started for ourselves, something where we all come together and we like to think very hard on what would be a very nice, thoughtful gift to give each other. So we'll plan and plan. Some of us will start thinking from January on what we should get them, and then we will come together on Christmas Eve and we'll basically exchange gifts. So for me, that was one of those most stressful times ever, because as much as I loved giving presents to my family and like sharing gifts with each other, it was also the time where I spent a lot and I always felt like, oh my god, my money finished already. Whatever I saved up this year has just gone for buying presents. And I used to feel very frustrated or stressed by the end of the seasons, that whatever enjoyment you got of it, it's negated by the negative feelings that you had. And I think that is something a lot of people face. Like you go all out and celebrate and have so much of fun, then you feel like you have finished your money. Even though you did not, you would still feel like it, and then you would feel very bad about it. And what we're going to talk about today is like what are the things we can do to address this, how we can ensure that we still have so much of fun celebrating the things that matter to us, and at the same time make sure our finances are okay. If you guys are not aware, in fact, there's a lot of people who do not necessarily prepare for festivals. So I'm not sure if you guys are the kind of people who are like, okay, my budget for Diwali is this much, and I will stick this amount, is 100 ringgit is for that, 500 ringgit is wang pao. I'm not sure if you guys plan like that, but a lot of people actually do not plan. Or when they do, when they do plan or whatnot, they don't know where the money comes from, right? So a lot of us take a lot of effort to save money throughout the year, and then as festival comes and we'll take our savings and use it up. So if you're not aware, and many of you watching here are Malaysians, one of the main ways Malaysians take care of expenses during festive seasons is actually by taking from their savings. So they will put up so much of effort to save money throughout the year, but then later on they will touch their savings. This is actually shared in this one article by iMoney, where a lot of them dip into their savings for the extra expenses because they're going out over budget. They take it from their savings, or some do are able to take it from their monthly income, which is an amazing thing. If your income levels are high enough to be able to do that, then you can cover that. But there's also a large group of people who take money from, or pay for this extra expenditure with credit card. And this is something I've always seen. I'm not sure, this is how a lot of people get into credit card debts, and they find it hard to pay off, is when these additional expenses come up and you're not very sure how to pay for it, you go for your credit card. That Please do take note that there's no such thing as I advocate against credit card. Credit card is just another tool, just like cash, just like your bank accounts. It's just another tool, but how we use it matters, and why we use it matters. And sometimes a lot of us go into credit cards because we feel we do not have the money to pay for that expense, so let me take the credit card and pay it. But that the fact that we are using credit cards so that we can pay for something that we do not have the money for should be very, very concerning. Like, you do not have the money for it, so you technically shouldn't be spending on it. But a lot of us go into that because of that. There are many different reasons, of course. Some of us will be peer pressure. We need to live up to the expectations of our peers, of our relatives, our auntie, our parents, or so many different groups of people, we are living up to their expectations, so we tend to spend more to like live up to their expectations. It could be that, it could be any other reasons, or it could be just getting basic necessities for your family, making sure they have a good experience or whatnot. So a lot of us decide to spend on these things, and some of the people who do actually choose the method of going into credit card debts, which is something to watch out for. So share with me, guys, on how was your experience celebrating your festivals. It does not necessarily have to be Diwali, it could be any other festival. And how do you feel when you actually go through these festivals? Are you someone who feels excited to spend the money? Because I know a lot of people who actually feel excited to spend the money on the things that they like to do. There are a lot of people who are feeling very, very bad when they're paying for things during the festivals, and they get very stressed out. Share with me on what exactly do you guys go through during these festivals, because the first step that any of us can take to ensure we enjoy our festivals more and have a better experience is to recognize what is happening right now. Like, how did I feel and all of that. That is the first part, right? Like looking at our emotions and seeing what do we feel. So for my example of Christmas and buying presents and all, I used to feel very stressed out. Then the second thing that I actually did was to put down how much I actually spent on things. So if you go shopping one off and you actually bought a lot of things, or it could be over several shopping trips, doesn't really matter. But like actually sitting down and opening an Excel sheet, or just taking out a piece of paper and writing down all the things you spent on for this festival. So for me, it would have been all the different presents I bought, the wrapping paper and whatnot, the trip to the shopping mall, and whatever I bought. I just write down all the things I spent on and actually see what happened. Like, oh, I actually spent a few thousands of ringgit on this. And just looking at the number and understanding, okay, so this is what happened. Because many of us tend to ignore the numbers, and we don't want to look at the numbers, so that's why we feel so stressed, like, oh my god, I think I overspent, but you actually don't know whether you did or not. So always, like, step one is to see how you feel emotionally about it and all that, but also to see the truth, which is the look at the numbers and as to what actually happened. Did you actually spend a lot? Did you spend lesser than you expected? Putting down the numbers really, really helps a lot. So when we do this, then we get a very clear picture on whether we did spend a lot or didn't spend a lot and whatnot. And then let's say the festival is over, and then you go like, oh my god, I've overspent. I think my budget was just 1,000 something ringgit, or like a few thousands of ringgit, but I've spent like double that amount. Let's say you are someone who went over budget. What happens next? Like, now that you're over budget, what happens next? So what I usually do is, you cannot travel back in time and change things. and you cannot like beat yourself up over just having a bit of fun and like celebrating. There's nothing wrong with it. But what you can do is to learn from this and ensure you do not repeat the same mistake the next time. So one is to manage the current mistake that you have made, and two is to ensure you do not make the same mistake for the second time. So let's say you're managing your current mistake, right? Let's say you took it out from your savings, nothing much to be managed. You have taken out from your savings, okay, that's the effect is done. In terms of managing it, let's say you took out a certain portion from your savings, make it your goal to refill back your savings to the original amount as soon as possible. So for the next few months, you probably have to be a bit more stricter with your budget. You probably have to be a bit more, maybe you have to find more sources of income, or like take a bit of extra hard work and get a two or one or two new clients to be able to top up your savings again. So this is the first thing I always do. Like there's many times I have made mistakes in terms of overspending on things. And I go like, oh my god, I spent more than my budget. So if I do that, the next focus would be how can I put back my savings so that I do not continue to like have a very low savings amount. Like I have to rectify my mistake as soon as possible. So I will have to probably do more workshops or do something extra so that I can earn an additional income to top up my savings again. So if you're someone who used your savings for that, then that's what you do. If you use the monthly income, then I don't really, it's not much to be rectified other than what can you do the next time so that you don't make the mistake. If you're someone who, let's say, use credit card, then again make it your mission to pay it off as soon as possible. Set a goal for yourself by what month, or like by how many days you want to settle off the things that you have taken out. Like if it's your savings, by when you want to replenish your savings. If it was your credit card debt, then by when you want to pay it off. And for the next few months, just stay focused on that goal and get it done. Many of us may feel like, oh my god, it's so big, Madhura, how do I do this? But one thing I personally experience is with a lot of people that I work with, when they set the goal and they decide, you know what, I'm just going to get it done. After I do this, I can enjoy my life again. I can do whatever or not I want to do. A lot of them are able to get it done very, very fast, including me. When I actually decide to get it done, a lot of new ideas will come up, a lot of opportunities will come up, and next thing I know, on its own, it's happening, and I'm able to refill it back up and all that. And some of you may already have this in place. You have the thing where you make the mistake and then you go like, okay, quickly fix everything. But then next year you repeat the same mistake, which is another problem on its own. A lot of us go like, okay, I've replenished my savings, done. I will never do this again. 1 year later, you make the exact same mistake again, which is what a lot of us don't want to do. We do not want to make the same mistakes again, right? So this is the second part of learning from our mistakes and correcting it and putting steps in place so that we don't make the same mistakes again. Make sense? And there are many different ways you can do it. If you're someone who has managed to make conscious change, you can do that. I can share some stories first before going on to like actual steps. There's this one particular person that I met with. She didn't really have much savings, but she did have a big expenses coming up. Like many of us have like yearly expenses that we will incur, like car park renewals or few other things like that. That we're not very sure how to pay. So for that particular person, we just decided that we will see how many of these expenses are coming up, how much is coming up, and every month she put aside a certain amount of money to save up to pay all of these expenses. So let's say her road tax is about 1,000 ringgit. Road tax and insurance for the car is about 1,000 ringgit. So what she'll do is, let's say there's 10 more months to pay my road tax money. Every month she will set aside 1,000 divided by 10, 100 ringgit per month into a separate account, so that when the 10 months finish and the day she has to pay the road tax and insurance comes up, she has 1,000 ringgit ready to take and just pay the expenses. This is something one of my clients did try, and she had very good results in like actually settling, paying a lot of the expenses she wanted to pay. Let's say she had a goal of like paying off one of her borrowings from a friend. So she decided that in 4 months time she will pay it off. So what she did was just break down the thing into a smaller goal of like 70 ringgit per month, and then every month she set aside that money, and then when she pulled the money, gathered all of the money together, she paid it off and settled it. So this is one of my clients. I also have clients who don't like to do the setting off every month a few ringgit to take care of these expenses. There are people who may not enjoy this. So those clients, some of them are like, okay, if a big expense is coming this month, I'll do some extra project and I will earn the money to be able to take care of it. They're that kind of people. So, but then they prepare ahead. They don't wait till the last month to do the emergency preparations and get the job and get stressed and torture everyone around us and then do the job, take the money and pay. They don't do that. They prepare ahead. Like maybe they can get the job few months ahead, collect the money, keep it aside. When the expense comes, they take and pay it. So these are some of the people who do it, and that is what I do also to kind of like preempt the situation. So for me, right, again, I shared my my Achilles heel is Christmas. I like buying presents and all that. So I need a certain amount of money to take care of these expenses. So what do I do to ensure I do not repeat the same mistake the next year where I get stressed and all that? So what I do to take care of it is very simple. I will first determine how much I want to spend for the next festival. For example, for me it's Christmas, let's say. Then how much do I want to spend to get presents for this group of people? Maybe this time around, and I will allow myself to dream and enjoy and have fun with this, because you would want to grow every year. You don't want to stick to the same budget every year and earn the same amount of money every year and you're forever living in that small budget. You do not want to do that. You want to do more. You want to give gifts to more people and enjoy it more and all that. So for me, I wanted to get more gifts for certain friends that I new friends I've made and all that, right? So what I do is I literally just sit down and go like, okay, I'd like to get something better for my family. So I'm gonna put aside this amount of money per person. So how much does that come to? Then I have a few other friends I want to buy presents for. How many friends do I have? How much do I think I want to spend for each one of them? I put aside some money for that. So I'll calculate in total how much I need. If you're someone like me who just has to get some presents and that is it, then fine. But you may be a parent who has like 3 kids and you have to buy clothes for them and then you have to buy groceries and then you're going to invite people to your house, so you need to buy food and maybe you're going to cater it, or maybe you're going to be buying groceries and cooking. But that's not it. If you're inviting people over, maybe you have other expenses to take care of. Maybe your house has some repairs to be made and you need to do those repairs if you're going to be inviting people over. Some of you will probably buy things like firecrackers. Some of you will give ang pao to the youngsters in your family. Some of you not only buy clothes for your kids or your family, but also like other people, other families, other relatives, and all of that as well. So go all out and really think like, if I do a celebration, or like if I celebrate this festive season the way I want to, the way that would make me truly happy, what are things I would want to do? Some of you may not even want to celebrate like in at your home with a bunch of people invited over. Maybe for you, your ideal celebration is to go on a nice trip away in a secluded island where nobody can disturb you. Then you need to look at what would it cost you to go on that trip, to fly over there, or like to take a drive over there, and then how much would it cost you to stay there, to eat there, blah blah blah, and basically come up with the amount that you would need to make that happen. That is the first thing I always do. After we have decided how much do we need for this, and then the next step is to always look at, okay, how am I going to get these funds, and how am I going to plan it in a way that I don't get stressed today and like decide not to do it, but like it's broken down into small pieces so I can make it happen. So for me is always to, like, let's say next year celebration is your next celebration is about 10 months away from now. So I'll take whatever amount I decide to, divide by 10 months, and then see how much in a month I have to earn extra. If let's say I do not have enough money to earn, I mean, like my monthly amount cannot take care of that expense just like that, I have to save up money. Then I will see how much I need to save up per month. Then you will know whether that amount that you need to save per month, is that enough or not. Because some of us will probably earn like 2,500 ringgit. You pay for your rent, your expenses, and all finishes. You do not have money to pay for that extra celebration that you intend to do. And even when you divide it by 10 months, it's still a big amount for you. So what do you do next? This is the third step: increase your income. A lot of people do not increase their incomes, but their expenses forever exponentially increases. And because of that is why they go into this problem of never having enough savings, because whatever they save they tend to spend it off. And there are also a group of people who basically take credit cards and use it to pay that. Some of you will, there are people who will borrow money from other people and then spend on these things, and then they are forever indebted to somebody. Could be an actual institution or it could be a relatives and whatnot. This is what happens when a lot of people don't plan it, right? So I will usually break it down and see how much I need to earn every month, and then I will come up with ways and means I can earn this money. Some of you maybe can do, and all of us have a lot of skills, and it's not something, all of us may be good at something small, or like something you may have your full-time job, but there may be other things that you are actually good at doing or like doing. What I suggest with many of the people I work with is to start working on the other things you like to do and come up with an income from there. When you take an effort to come up with an income from there, you save up that money and you get to pay for these things that you like to do. So when we save up for these expenses, this is what we call sinking fund. Many of you, if you follow me, you would have heard me talk about the sinking fund, which is basically saving up for expenses, saving up money to just spend on the certain things that you enjoy. This should not be your normal savings. Your normal savings is basically for emergency funds or investments and whatnot. But this is a separate savings on its own, where you're just putting aside money to spend it at one point in time. It could be a festival, it could be travel, it could be buying something nice for yourself, like a laptop for yourself. Recently, somebody texted me today saying that they wanted to change their phone because their phone is giving problems. So if you already estimate that, hey, I bought this phone 4 years ago, I have a suspicion it's slowing down, it's dying very fast. I think I need to change my phone soon. So if you know this, you have this feeling, prepare. Hey, I'm going to change my phone. I think in approximately 4 months now. So in the next 4 months, I need to save up money to buy this phone. What can I do? Think of ways and means to increase your income to be able to finance that thing. So you do not touch your savings and you do not touch your credit cards and all the other tools that will cause more financial troubles. So it is always about planning. That's what I've noticed with many of, like for myself and a lot of other people. When we plan, we can get so much more done. So if you're watching, right, share with me, guys. What is one thing that you have actually always wanted to spend on, but you have told yourself this iconic dialogue? The dialogue is this: I don't have the money to do this. Audience, please do feel free to share with me, because the other people who are viewing will also get to learn from you, right? I don't have the money right now for this. This is a dialogue I always hear from people, and it's a very sad thing to hear from people. Like, I don't have the money to do this. Why can't you go traveling? Oh, I don't have the money to do this. Oh, you wanted to celebrate by doing this way, is it? Why did you not do it? Oh, because I don't have the money to do this. This is something a lot of people uh, tell themselves and others. I don't have the money to do this. Uh, so what we do, or what I do with the people I work with, is to show them that if you plan ahead, if you set a goal and work backwards and see what are the things you need to do to achieve that goal, there's a chance, such a huge 100% chance, in fact, that you will achieve it. I have worked with people who have never traveled before, but have always wanted to travel, have actually started taking trips to go and enjoy this travel. I worked with people who wanted to buy new gadgets, but they always felt like they did not have enough money. Also, start doing that. I have people who have always wanted to give some money to their parents, but they felt like they did not have enough money. I've seen people actually start doing that. I have youngsters who have just started to work, feel like they do not have enough money to take care of their expenses, so somebody still has to pay for me and take care of my stuff. But when they chose to plan it and prepare, they were able to very quickly take over these expenses and support themselves. So many times, all we have to do is decide what we want, take the actions to plan it, and of course, like execute your plans. Lah. Don't just say, "Oh, this is my plan. I want to save 300 ringgit per month," but you do nothing, absolutely nothing different to earn that money. Don't do that. Actually, take actions to make it happen. And when the money comes, do not decide to use it for something else, which is another big mistake a lot of people make. You will save up money for a goal you decide to have, and then somebody will come and ask you for money, and you'll be like, you know what? I'll give this to you. Do not do that. Like, if you have decided that this is a goal you want to achieve, stick to your word, respect your goals, and actually spend the money on the thing that you said it is meant for. When you do that, you'll have a lot more self-respect for yourself, for your goals, and you'll develop this habit pattern of achieving goals that you set. You will develop this habit pattern and confidence that you get to live the life you want to live. You get to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. which I think means is very, very important. I see a lot of people share things like shopping, you wanna eat expensive food, you wanna travel. These are things you like to do. So set a goal. Like how often do you want to do it? Do you want to shop every 3 months once? Do you want to shop every month? How much would you need for it? Decide on that, and then think, what can I do to earn the amount of money I need to do these things, and actually work towards it. Don't wait to earn more money to do these things. You need to decide you want more money, and then you work towards it. The money will come to you. If you wait for the money to come to you for you to be able to spend on things, it's never gonna come. That's what I've noticed with myself. Fine dining. Edward, I know a shop. Let's go. All right. So it's just a very quick sharing I thought of doing today, because I saw a lot of people shared me how they used up their money because they did not plan ahead. They used up their savings because they did not plan ahead. I also saw a lot of people who didn't do the things they wanted to do because they did not plan ahead. So the solutions for both groups of people is the same thing. Decide a goal, work towards it. I mean, have a plan for how you're going to achieve it. Take action on the plan, make it happen. All right. So that is my very quick session today. We have many more exciting Money Matters episodes coming up. We already have someone who's going to be coming and talking to you guys about limiting beliefs on money. I think this episode will be happening at the end of November, 28th of November, if I'm not mistaken. We also have another cool episode coming up on budget. Not budget as in your personal budgeting, but in Malaysia, the budget that was released, some of the things you could know or should take note of to understand it a bit more better. As citizens of Malaysia, we'll be talking about a little bit about that as well, and a lot of other interesting topics. If you are someone who wants to, learn something specific in money, personal finance, but you don't know where to go and find out about it, drop it in the comments. I'll find a way and get the right people to come and share with you about that particular topic. So thank you so much, guys, for watching Money Matters. As I've shared many times in today's session, I actually work with individuals to set the right habit patterns in terms of their money. Sometimes all you need is somebody to help you keep an eye on it, to push you in the right direction, to make sure you focus on your goals and ensure you achieve the financial goals that you have set for yourself. Sometimes is to have a partner who you can brainstorm with on how you can manage your expenses better, how you can increase your income. So if you're someone who's looking for a little bit of help on your finances and you're not very sure where to go, I actually provide the service of personal finance management for Gen Ys and Gen Zs, where basically we meet online 2 times a month and we get to have conversations. We will do a very basic financial check-in to see, like, are you spending within your means? Are you saving? Are you keeping to your budget? Blah, blah, blah. All those basic stuff. But also to see what are the habit patterns you need to build, what are the habit patterns you need to stop having, and all of these things, or habit patterns you need to manage so that your finances don't get into a very bad situation. We'll discuss these things and we'll make sure you continue to make good progress towards your financial goals. So if you're someone who's looking for this, do contact me. My number is, and in the poster it's +6012 446 0002. I actually have some trial sessions available, free trial session. So if you're interested for that, you can actually contact me as well. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys at the next Money Matters segment. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like and subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Do share this episode with your friends and family. And if you like this episode, leave us a review on our Facebook page, facebook.com/simplyempowering. Money Matters is where we aim to provide valuable content to inspire and empower you on your money matters. Thank you once again for watching this episode, and see you guys at the next one.